I found a pacifier. This is a silhouette. The rain created it naturally. The situation I'm in, I was, with my wife in a therapy session. That's a nice lowrider. Wish I had a better camera. The whole situation is, Natalie, she saw a silhouette at the edge of her bed. I expressed to her I may have met the Baphomet. I may have met the devil. Well, also, there was something that walked around on my ceiling at my house. So, she explained to me a silhouette sat at the edge of her bed. If I prayed 2 weeks before we met, I got the more of an end of the stick. The thing is, I didn't want to freak her out. I had this experience that there was a womanly silhouette that was trapped behind a mirror. She had red eyes, she was staring, and me and my friends, we got scared, we got freaked out. We were little kids at the moment. But the thing that is that over time, I figured out how serious it was because, the likelihood, I had to do research and figure out that, I think it was about 2005, the movie Bloody Mary came out. I shouldn't have, but the thing is, I'm not going to talk about that because I don't accept spirits into my life. I already did my prayers, but something isn't right about the fact that, I had an ex-girlfriend before, and she also had different hauntings happen, and she actually took a picture of a silhouette herself that was by the ocean. I had prayed to God, and, I told my ex, even if God sent a woman perfect for me to fall out the sky, all these things, and when she left me for dead, I was over that, because I got to the point where I was going to live my life, but I did pray one more time. I prayed one time. That's crazy, because then it's like, okay, the first time I prayed, it was after, when I was a man, I prayed to God if he was real, he would have to show me something. In the flesh, after 2 weeks, I prayed 4 things in a woman that would be perfect for me. And down to those 4 things, what spoke out the most to me, her ethnicity, was the 2 mixtures I confessed to God. So she was all of it. When a year later, we didn't work out for the most sorry of reasons. The simplest way I can say it is I need to watch my mouth. She was possessive because I gave a coworker a ride home. It was like the stupidest of just, it was just like, we didn't work out for some simple reasons. And then my life got way more complicated because the first thing I told her when I met her and I got her number was, Jesus Christ, have mercy. I told her it's not the end of the world. My therapist told me if I don't explain to her, because the coronavirus occurred later, and it was almost the end of the world. If I don't express to Natalie the silhouette at the end of her bed, I saw something behind the mirror with red eyes. There was another person I knew that took a picture, and she had nothing to do with it, of a shadow figure that was in the ocean. Shadow figure that was in the ocean. Okay, I'm trying. It's like these shadow figures, because Stephanie, she will never understand. She told me I remember her to be a woman before we met, that she got an accident. There's no way. I remember her to have an academic excellence award, yet we never met. She was freaked out. She had got to this point where she wanted to know how I knew. And then I remember it's crazy because I remembered her before we met, but I prayed, and 2 days to a few days after I prayed, she appeared in the flesh. I prayed for my heavenly. So the thing is that she asked me a question. Do I understand that I prayed for my wife, not my wife in God's perfect will? So I said yes, because Natalie and Stephanie appeared in the flesh, a year separated, apart from each other, they have nothing to do with each other. But yet I told Natalie it's not the end of the world. The coronavirus occurred. And Natalie, one of the first conversations we had was about how I possibly met the devil, I possibly met the Baphomet. Stephanie believes I overcame the devil. I am going through these things that I was in a therapy session. My wife wouldn't give me a second. And then, Natalie, she straight up got mad because I gave a coworker a ride home that I wasn't even interested in. And I could just say that it's earthly. Wives get possessive. The situation is that I'm in a situation left for dead. Okay, if they saw what they saw, I saw what I saw. I don't even want to talk about almost, could have. And then the reality of it is, if reality could change in the snap of a second, if I don't express this to both of them at the same time, I would lose my mental sanity, is what my therapist explained to me. I explained it too well in detail of how reality, and then there's no way they're so possessive they lied about it. There's just, because then who am I to say they lied? But the thing is, I'm stuck left for dead because it's like there's just no possible way Stephanie was going to allow me to love Natalie the way I love Stephanie. Yet she understood. I prayed for my wife, and then I prayed for my wife in God's perfect will. Yet it's the same concept, because if they're daughters of God, I could never express that. I didn't even tell Natalie. So I didn't tell her 2 weeks before we met. I prayed and she appeared in the flesh because it was scary. It scared me because she has, that's the thing. I mean, eyes, it sounds so stupid. It's like, how can eyes be scary? And then you do the math. Their silhouettes that they seen, Stephanie seen multiple, and then Natalie seen one at the edge of her bed. So the situation is that. And then the pacifier, thinking about how Stephanie told me we could have been had children. Natalie, we may have, if she will not let me, neither one will let me know why they hate me. And then one told me you shouldn't have prayed for 2 wives. Tell her something that will make her this. Oh my God. So it's like there is no way in a world where the devil could exist and we seen it's possible. Why would we want to play? The best way I could put it is, if somebody else was telling the truth, it was a Ouija board. Somebody played a Ouija board, and it was in Mexico. So, basically, I got told not to play the Ouija board because your neck, it could. There's someone who could have died because their neck snapped after they played the Ouija board. So, if that was a real story, I'm not sure yet. And then I also got another story about how bows on your arm and your body, can curl up like bows. I mean, your flesh can curl up like bows. A grandmother, her flesh curled up like bows on her, and she had this hallucination that she was going to go to hell. And it was a horrible death. It was just a very horrible death that someone explained to me. I'm not sure. He's like, out of all the things that people say, there's just so many things that different people have experienced. So I'm in this situation where my silhouette had red eyes, and I should not have played this game, which out of nowhere, after about within a few months to a few weeks, it was around 2005, and it's crazy to me. I was born in 1998. Around 2005, they came out with a movie about Bloody Mary. So the situation, I jumped over this queen-size bed, and I just would trip out because I wasn't messing with the commercial, because I didn't know that after playing a game, a commercial could come out. What gave the producers the idea is my question. It gets like that. So the situation is over time. If these two women have also seen silhouettes after I seen a silhouette in the mirror, if I can express to them that we all three believed in God truly, as possessive as my wives get, it's a situation where I have to be strong for the sake of the fact if I die, we're going to heaven or hell. And as hard as it is to get to heaven, it's a situation that's wild.